city of David. Go to Jerusalem today, you will likely visit the city of David, one of the world's great archaeological wonders. Diggers are sifting back through time, scores of workers filling hundreds of buckets, unearthing thousands of years.
This tunnel is 3,850 years old.
And this was the way it was.
This is exactly original. Look at these stones. You can even see the chisel marks along the walls.
Daron Spielman is the site's international director of development.
This is the original old flooring. These are more ritual baths or water cisterns.
He led us down to an ancient waterway carved out of the hard stone.
The whole beginning of life in ancient Jerusalem happened from this little spring, which is nestled in this little cave.
We were taken down excavated tunnels no human eye has seen for 2 millennia, and shown the process of removing the layers of history, sandbag by sandbag, from when the city was sacked by the Romans, and before them, the Babylonians. This was the first time I'd ever done an interview in a Canaanite fortress. So this structure was here when Abraham was here.
That's right. He saw it with his own eyes.
He saw this.
He saw this.
That's a bit of a stretch. Archaeologists tell us that no one has found any evidence that Abraham was ever here. It's controversial that the city of David uses discoveries to try to confirm what's in the Bible, particularly from the time of David, the king who made Jerusalem his capital.
People believe that when King David captured the city, he snuck underground through this tunnel, which led him underneath the city wall up into the city.
500,000 tourists visit the site every year, with guides who try to bring King David to life. There's an implicit message that because David conquered the city for the Jews back then, Jerusalem belongs to the Jews today. Today, I've seen scores and scores of soldiers coming through.
It's part of their cultural day to try to learn about what they're fighting for. And when we bring them here, they understand that they're not just fighting for today. They actually represent the return of the Jewish people to Israel after thousands of years.
So archaeology is being used as a political tool. Maybe, and I hate to use the word, but indoctrination almost.
I wouldn't call it indoctrination. I would call it giving meaning to life, giving meaning to why we're here.
But for all the talk of King David, one thing is glaringly missing here at the city of David. There's actually no evidence of David, right?
There's no doubt that this is the city of David from the Bible. There's no doubt that the Bible took place here. Proof of David himself? Until we find the actual name, we can't say.
Another problem is an inconvenient truth that biblical Jerusalem is not located in the western half of the city. It's right under the densely populated Arab neighborhood of Silwan. And according to the Clinton parameters, Silwan should be part of a Palestinian state. To remedy that, organizations that move Jewish settlers into Arab areas have infiltrated Silwan. Under heavy security, a group of settlers live in this 7-story building. They barricaded themselves in and refuse to leave. With some 450 Jews living among tens of thousands of Arabs, Silwan is now at the center of the battle to keep all of Jerusalem under Israeli control. So how does the city of David tie into this? Well, while a government agency oversees the excavations, the dig and the site are largely funded and run by something called Elad. Daron Spielman works for Elad, which claims they're not a settlers organization, though people we spoke to say they are.
I think they'd be correct to call us an organization who believes deeply in the history of Jerusalem.
So it's all archaeology.
Archaeology and rebuilding a Jewish neighborhood.
So Elad is doing archaeology and settlements.
We are doing archaeology and we are buying homes and buying land.
But is it Elad's goal to ease the Arabs away from where we are right now?
Put it this way, if there's a home that an Arab wants to sell, and I have the money to buy it, and I can enable a Jewish family to live there, and I can dig archaeologically underneath it, then I think that's a wonderful thing to do.
The Arabs say it's a provocative thing to do. Devout Jews, Yonatan and Devorah Adler, live in one of the houses Elad bought. Elad has raised tens of millions of dollars, half from the United States, and buys these homes on land the Palestinians claim for a future state. The Adlers raised their 6 kids here on the actual dig.
The city of David is where Jerusalem began. This is where prophets walked. This is where half of the Bible was written. This is what we're
And
talking
yet,
about.
when you see those maps, it's over on the Palestinian side.
Yeah, well, maps are written on paper. This is written on our hearts.
But it is one of the proposals on the table.
I'll tell you, Jerusalem cannot be divided. Jews would never allow it.
The Adlers say they don't mind living behind gates and having guards on their roof. They would never consider leaving. But you're like a soldier on the front line.
I don't think we see ourselves as soldiers at all. We see ourselves very much as regular, everyday people living in a very, very special place.
Palestinian Jawad Siam was born in this very, very special place and says he can trace his roots here back 930 years. He's pessimistic about the Palestinians ever having their own state. What will happen to this village if there's a two-state solution?
I don't think there will be